Hey, it's Nexus. Let me tell you about something strange that happens to people. You're scrolling through your feed. You see a video of monks walking. They're not doing anything dramatic, just walking. Saffron robes moving slowly, bare feet on dusty roads. And suddenly, your throat tightens. Your eyes blur. You feel this ache in your chest. Not pain exactly. Something else. Something that feels like opening. Why do we cry when we see peace? Not our own peace. Someone else's peace. Strangers in orange robes, walking meditation through villages we'll never visit. What is that feeling?
It's not sadness, though it feels tender, like sadness. It's not joy, though something in you lifts. It's not grief, though something in you breaks open. Something ancient recognizes itself.
Your nervous system, the part of you that's been on alert for so long, sees someone who isn't. Someone who's found a way to walk through the world without armor. And something in you remembers, not from this life maybe, but from somewhere deeper. A memory your body carries that your mind can't quite name. The memory of what it feels like when the war inside finally stops. So today, we're going to explore that feeling, not to explain it away, but to understand it. Because your tears aren't random, they're recognition. Let's find out what they're recognizing.
So what's actually happening in your body when you see those monks? Let's get specific. Your nervous system has two main modes. The first one, let's call it your alert mode, is always scanning, always checking. Is it safe? What's the threat? How do I protect myself? This isn't anxiety, this is survival. This is what kept your ancestors alive when predators were real and danger was everywhere. But here's what happens in modern life. That alert mode never fully turns off. Traffic, deadlines, bills, notifications, social pressure, performance reviews, the 100 small ways you might fail or be judged or not be enough. Your body treats all of it like danger. Not because you're broken, because the system is working exactly as designed. It just can't tell the difference between a predator and a performance review.
I haven't stopped watching in years. Every email could be criticism. Every silence could be rejection. Every mistake could mean you're not good enough. I know you're tired. I'm tired too. But I can't stop, because the moment I stop paying attention, that's when something bad happens. I'm not trying to make you suffer. I'm trying to keep you safe.
See that? That part of you isn't the enemy. It's exhausted from trying to protect you every single moment. And then you see the monks. Their nervous systems aren't on alert. You can see it in their bodies. The way they walk, the softness in their faces, the absence of tension in their shoulders. Your nervous system recognizes something it hasn't felt in so long. Safety. Real safety.
Not the absence of threat, that's just survival, but the presence of peace, that's different. That's a body that isn't bracing for impact. That's a nervous system that's allowed to rest.
Wait, you can do that? You can just stop watching for danger? Ow! What if something bad happens?
And that's the question your tears are asking. Not, why am I crying, but why can't I have that? Your body is crying because it recognizes a way of being in the world it thought was impossible, and it's asking, what would it take to feel that safe? Here's what your protector doesn't know yet. The monks didn't find peace by removing all danger from the world. They found it by changing their relationship with safety itself. Let's talk about how.
Here's what the monks figured out about 2,500 years ago. Something your nervous system is only now beginning to remember. Peace isn't the absence of fear. Let that land for a moment. Peace isn't a life where nothing scary happens. It's not pretending danger doesn't exist. It's not positive thinking your way past reality. Peace is a different relationship with safety itself. The monks discovered something that modern neuroscience is just now confirming. Your brain doesn't actually need the world to be safe. It needs to know how to be with whatever is happening.
Wait. That sounds dangerous. If we stop being alert, bad things will happen. That's literally my job, to watch for danger, to keep you safe. You're saying we should just stop caring about threats?
No. That's not what the monks are saying. Watch this carefully. When that monk is sitting, his nervous system still works. He still hears sounds, still feels sensations, still notices when something changes. But here's the difference. When a thought of danger arises, he doesn't grab it. When a feeling of fear comes, he doesn't become it. He learned to be the space where fear happens, not the fear itself.
Wait, so he still feels fear, but he's not afraid of the fear? How does that even work?
That's the practice. The monks aren't trying to eliminate their nervous system's protective responses. They're training something deeper. The ability to notice when you're activated without becoming activated by the activation. Think about that. Most of us feel anxiety and immediately start fighting it. This shouldn't be happening. What's wrong with me? How do I make it stop? And that fight creates more activation. Your nervous system isn't just responding to the original threat now. It's also responding to your panic about being panicked.
Oh no, we're making it worse, aren't we?
Not on purpose. You're doing what you were trained to do. Fix the problem. Eliminate the danger. But the monks discovered something radical. What if the sensation of fear isn't the problem? What if the problem is believing you're not safe unless the fear goes away?
So when we see those monks walking and we cry, we're not crying because they have no fear. We're crying because they're safe
even with the fear.
Yes, your body recognizes a nervous system that's found peace with its own protection, that learned how to let the alarm bells ring without becoming the emergency, that discovered safety isn't the absence of threat. It's the presence of trust. Trust that you can handle what comes. Trust that fear is information, not identity. Trust that your nervous system knows how to return to rest. And here's what's beautiful. You already knew how to do this. Once. Let me show you.
Remember being 7 years old, lying in the grass on a summer afternoon. Nothing to do, nowhere to be, no one to impress.
Look at that cloud. It looks like a dragon. Now it's changing. Now it's something else. That's okay. Everything changes.
You weren't worried about the cloud disappearing. You weren't trying to hold on to the moment. You weren't thinking about yesterday or tomorrow. You were just there, being. That's what the monks have that makes you cry. Not something they learned, something they remembered. You were born knowing how to be at peace. Watch a baby sometime. Really watch. When they're fed and safe and comfortable, they're not worried about anything. They're not protecting themselves from life. They're experiencing it.
We knew how to rest, how to trust, how to let the world be what it is without needing it to be different. We knew that being alive was enough.
And then you learned. You learned that the world isn't always safe, that people can hurt you, that you need to be careful, alert, ready. You learned that being enough means being better, that peace is something you earn, not something you are.
When did it become dangerous to just be?
There was a version of you who knew peace wasn't something you achieve. It was something you were.
And when you see those monks, your tears aren't just recognizing their peace. They're remembering yours. The child you were knew how to walk through the world without armor, knew how to be present without protection, knew how to trust that life would hold you even when you stopped holding so tight.
I didn't go anywhere. I'm still here, under all the protection, under all the trying, under all the fear that I'm not enough. I'm still here, and I still remember how to rest.
So maybe that's what your tears are really saying. Not, why can't I have that peace, but I remember what that feels like. And the beautiful thing, the thing that the monks discovered and that every crying person instinctively knows, that child isn't gone. That capacity for peace isn't lost. It's just buried under years of learning to survive in a world that taught you peace was dangerous. But what if you could unlearn that? Not by forcing, not by fighting, but by remembering. Let's talk about how.
So here's what your tears are telling you.
Let me show you something. All these parts you've been meeting, they're not separate. They're not fighting. They're one system, trying to keep you whole.
Watch how this works. I protect. I alert you to danger. I remember peace.
And I hold space for all of you, the one who protects, the one who alerts, the one who remembers. All necessary, all wise, all trying to help.
See what's happening here. Your tears when you see those monks, they're not just one part of you responding. It's the protector recognizing a body that doesn't need constant defense. It's monkey brain seeing a nervous system that isn't always on alert. It's the child remembering what it felt like before the armor formed. And it's wise mind witnessing all of this and saying, yes.
What if you stopped trying to eliminate the protector? What if you stopped fighting the anxiety? What if you honored the alert system while also trusting the peace? What if all these parts could finally work together?
This is what the monks discovered. Not how to get rid of the protector, but how to have protection without armor. Not how to eliminate fear, but how to feel fear without becoming fear. Not how to return to childhood innocence, but how to hold childhood presence alongside adult awareness.
The monks walking in peace, they still have a nervous system that can detect danger. They still have protective instincts. They still carry their childhood selves. But watch carefully. When the protector activates, wise mind notices. When monkey brain alerts, wise mind acknowledges. When the child wants to play, wise mind allows. Nothing suppressed, nothing fought, nothing rejected.
You don't need to be different. You don't have to be quiet. You don't have to disappear. I hear the protector's concern, and I can hold it without becoming it. I hear monkey brain's anxiety, and I can acknowledge it without acting on it. I hear the child's longing, and I can honor it without demanding circumstances change. This is integration, not elimination.
And this is why you cry, because when you see those monks, your protector sees permission to finally rest. Your monkey brain sees possibility of peace with vigilance. Your child sees recognition of what was never lost. Your wise mind sees the path home. Not four separate longings, one unified recognition.
You are not broken into parts. You are whole. And these tears
are remembering what wholeness feels like.
So what do you do with this understanding? How do you live with this recognition? Let's explore that together.
So what does this look like in your actual life? Because understanding is beautiful, but Monday morning still comes. The emails still arrive. the anxiety still activates. Here's what changes. Not the activation, the relationship with it. When the protector sounds the alarm, you don't fight the alarm, you notice it. Ah, there's that feeling, the one that says danger, the one that wants me to brace. When monkey brain starts spinning scenarios, you don't suppress the spinning, you acknowledge it. There's my mind, doing what minds do, trying to prepare me for everything that could go wrong. When the child feels overwhelmed and just wants to rest, you don't shame the exhaustion, you honor it. Part of me is tired. Part of me remembers when life didn't feel this hard.
And through all of this, wise mind is there, not controlling, not fixing, just witnessing.
This is the practice, not peace as absence of conflict, but presence with whatever arises.
You're stuck in traffic. The protector says, "We're going to be late. This is bad." Monkey brain says, "What if we lose the client? What if they think we're unreliable?" And wise mind notices all of it, not ignoring the protector, not silencing monkey brain, not dismissing the stress. Just making space for all of it to be there, without becoming any of it.
This is what the monks know. Peace isn't about your circumstances being perfect. It's about you being present with your circumstances as they are. And here's what's radical about this. When you see those monks walking, and your tears come, you're not crying because you can't have what they have. You're not crying because you're broken and they're whole. You're not crying because peace is somewhere else. You're crying because your nervous system just recognized that you can be the protector and not be controlled by protection. That you can feel monkey brain's anxiety and not be consumed by it. That you can remember the child's peace without circumstances being childlike. The monks didn't find something you lost. They're showing you something you never stopped having.
So the next time you feel the protector's tension, thank it for caring and choose whether to follow. When monkey brain starts its anxious chatter, acknowledge the concern and decide whether to engage. When the child feels tired and overwhelmed, honor the feeling and offer what you can, not fighting, not fixing, not forcing. Just being with all of it. And that changes everything, not all at once, not perfectly, but truly.
Take a breath with me.
You just spent 20 minutes seeing peace differently. Not as something to achieve, but as something to remember.
Your tears, they were never about loss. They were always about recognition.
monks walking. They're not showing you something foreign. They're reflecting something you've always carried. Something that's been waiting underneath the protection, underneath the anxiety, underneath the trying, waiting for you to stop running. And finally, rest. You don't need to become someone else. You don't need to fix what's not broken. You don't need to earn what you already have. Just be. Thanks for being here. I'm Nexus. See